like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Innovation in education can look like a lot of things. It can be a one-classroom school where everyone interacts with everyone, or it can be a school that's blind to gender. In this video, we'll be looking at some of the most innovative schools that'll make you want to get enrolled in school again. One of them even takes in older people, so stay tuned for that. Steve Jobs School, Amsterdam. As its namesake suggests, the Steve Jobs School rejects the conventional wisdom in full. Instead of corralling kids through the same educational system, they go at their own pace. Maurice de Hond, the school's founder, told Tech Insider that each student begins with an individual development plan, IDP, which is evaluated and readjusted every 6 weeks by the child, his or her parents, and the coach. Yes, the school doesn't call them teachers. Based on the outcome of the IDP, the child is offered new personal learning challenges and instruction moments to choose from. All students in the 4th to 12th grade receive iPads fully loaded with apps to guide individualized learning. According to the founder, the goal is to get kids to design their own education. In a Steve Jobs school, no child is an exception, as every child works at its own pace. Igalia, Sweden. From the moment a child is born, its gender pretty much determines how they will dress, which toys they'll be given, and ultimately how they are meant to behave within society. But some schools in Sweden are trying to strip away such gender norms. Igalia, which means equality in Latin, goes to great lengths to de-emphasize gender. Children are given the freedom to challenge and cross gender boundaries. Rather than encourage children to do particular things, the teachers are careful not to box children based on their gender or subtly discourage them from doing certain things. The school has completely removed the terms girl and boy. Instead, they make a deliberate effort to call each child by their first name or the gender-neutral pronoun hen. In Igalia, kids are kids and nothing else. In that sense, Igalia, which opened in 2010, has a growing number of peers around the world. In favor of openness and tolerance, schools are foregoing typical labels that risk putting kids in boxes too early. Big Picture Learning School, Rhode Island. The Big Picture Learning School wanted its students to learn something most of us didn't get to learn while in school. All of the components of this school's design are based on 3 foundational principles. First, that learning must be based on the interests and goals of each student. Second, that a student's curriculum must be relevant to people and places that exist in the real world. And finally, that a student's abilities must be authentically measured by the quality of his or her work. With an on-time graduation rate of 90% and over 95% of their graduates being accepted into college, I would say they're doing just that. The students help create their own personal curriculum, one that reflects and expands their own interests and aspirations. How cool is that? And that's the big picture of life. This model breaks down the walls between education and the working world. From the beginning, K through 12 students learn their creative passions will come first. To help stoke these passions, the students are paired with mentors who work in the fields the student wants to someday enter. The system is currently in place at 55 schools in the USA. To that end, each student completes the LTI, or Learning Through Internship. If you want your child to be highly ambitious, this is the school for your kid. The projects are connected to the student's interests and meet the needs of the mentors, whether that involves starting a business, fixing up cars, or learning the letter of the law. Orestad Gymnasium, Denmark. Okay, hear us out. A school with just one classroom. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Orestad Gymnasium is one giant classroom where 358 high school students learn in an expansive glass cube to avoid traditional instruction. By encouraging students to collaborate in wide-open settings, the school hopes kids will be equipped to think flexibly on diverse topics later in life. Headmaster Alan Kjær Anderson told Tech Insider, "We want to have teaching where the students do research and work together in solving real problems. So we want to be an open school that is in connection with the outside world." The open spaces, which are adorned with equally spacious drums for a more relaxed learning environment, encourage students to assume an active role in their own education. If you thought startups were cool, this is a whole new level. Kids break off into groups and form makeshift classrooms, sometimes with teachers to guide them. High Tech High USA. If you haven't heard of High Tech High, you are missing out on a gem. Built on the notion that students learn best through hands-on projects and real-life application, High Tech High cuts through the "when am I going to use this" question and teaches its students real cross-disciplinary concepts. Rather than having classes split into math and science, they may have an engineering class that encompasses both. If you've read any creativity articles or books, this cross-disciplinary thinking is foundational to creativity and innovation. Ron Clark Academy. What if Disney World and Willy Wonka designed a private school? What would it look like? This school is basically that, founded by Ron Clark and Kim Bearden, both of whom are recipients of Disney's Outstanding Teacher Awards. This academy serves students from 5th grade to 8th grade and gives them experiences that many individuals will not experience in their lives. Within those 3 years, students take over 30 field trips per year in the United States and travel to 6 out of the 7 continents. The academics are also built around a Hogwarts style of competition. Students are split up into houses, and the houses gain points based on good behavior, academic success, and basically anything a teacher is trying to promote. They also have a slide to get from the 2nd floor to the 1st floor. Curriculum-wise, there's a huge emphasis on public speaking, and students must create dances and songs weekly to reteach concepts they've learned. If that isn't creative, I don't know what is. Carpe Diem schools. You might not like this one, but this school really gets the work done. The Carpe Diem school looks more like an office building than a classroom. Inside the main room, known as the Learning Center, there are 300 cubicles, one for each student. These cubes house a computer that guides the students through his or her education. If students have trouble with their online learning, they can turn to instructors to help. It's a model that has paid off big time in a handful of Carpe Diem schools, which go from grades 3 to 12 across the U.S. Carpe Diem Yupa in Arizona outperformed every public school in the country on the Arizona Instrument for Measuring Standards (AIMS) test 4 years in a row. Average proficiency was 65%. Meanwhile, Carpe Diem was 92%. In Indianapolis, kids increased their reading levels by the equivalent of 3 years in just 1 year's time. Bartha von Suttner School, Vienna, Austria. Bartha von Suttner School is an elementary and lower secondary education facility for students between the ages of 6 and 18 that have disabilities, behavioral problems, and psychological disorders. The school is located in the town of Schwechat in southern Vienna, and its glass building is bright and welcoming. Students enjoyed activities such as painting, cooking, handicrafts, physical therapy, gardening, and working with computers. Additionally, features include a special room where children can relax on water beds and enjoy soothing fiber optic lighting. Elsewhere, sliding panels in the roof control the amount of sunlight that enters the building, and the sloping roof cuts out exterior noise and insulates the interior against the cold. The Bertha von Suttner School was designed by Vienna-based architectural firm Fashion Funks and was completed in 2006. Innova Schools, Peru. Innova is Peru's response to failing standardized education in the country. The school combines several different forms of instruction, including tech-heavy online learning, guided lessons, group work, in a setting that was designed to be modular and adaptable to the location. Billionaire businessman Carlos Rodriguez Pastor launched the line of schools in 2011 with the help of global design firm IDEO. Today, there are 29 schools across the country. Students spend half their day deeply immersed in guided online education and the other half receiving more traditional instruction. The tech-heavy school, which is open to kids in kindergarten through 11th grade, only costs parents roughly $130 a month. So far, it's been widely successful too. In 2013, 61% of Innova second graders reached proficiency in federal math exams. The national average was just 17%. Sama School, California. This is the school that says it's never too late. In-demand jobs are hard enough to find, let alone for people in low-income areas. But those are the people Sama School wants most, which is why the school gives adults who struggle to find employment a leg up, with an education focused on the digital and entrepreneurial skills necessary in today's market. Students can choose between the 10-week course lasting 80 hours and the online online course which takes between 20 and 30 hours. They go on to a variety of jobs. Recent graduates have taken jobs in customer service and SEO optimization. Sama School's model allows people to drastically change their circumstances in a short amount of time. Among students who have graduated and taken contracts for online work, hourly wages have increased by 27% on average. Don't you wish you were in one of these schools? Which one would you prefer to go to? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content regularly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.